Definitely can't be having that yelling happening when I'm live. Niggas gonna think I'm killing somebody. Why is she yelling like that? Yo! Baby, I'm manifesting that I get 100+ viewers on this stream. What do you think?
150.
150? Bet. Bet. I just hope I have a smooth stream, brother. Yeah, can you go and close the door when you get out too?
You heard
her? She's still sleeping.
Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Yes, yes, yes. What's going on, family? What is up, guys? What is going on? Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chats. Let me know if you guys can see my screen, family, because we are live right now with another weekly breakdown with your boy Abel, and I'm excited to be here with every single one of y'all, family. But let me know if you guys can hear me in the chats. I want to make sure that everything is up and running. I want to make sure that we're not having no issues whatsoever, guys, by letting me know if you guys can hear me in the chats, guys. And if you guys can hear me, go ahead and drop your locations down low. Drop those locations down low. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from as well. And we're going to get this thing started, guys, in just another minute or so. I just want to make sure that we have everything set up properly. Or I want to make sure that everything is good to go because, again, it's going to be another phenomenal week that we have set up for this week. And I need all my people, guys, to be prepared. I need all of you guys that decided to take time out of y'all day to know exactly what we need to focus on, to be aware of what type of news that we have. And also, I'm going to give you guys some setups that I'm going to be looking at going into this week. And if we have some time, I'm also go ahead, guys, and really just take a look at any setups that you guys want, any ideas or any pairs that you guys want analyzed as well. You know, we'll definitely go ahead and break that down today, right now, because if y'all was on my last Sunday, not last week, because last week was Easter, I was with the family, but the weekend before that one and the week before that one, guys, every single thing that we said was gonna happen is literally happening, right? So I honestly encourage you guys to make sure to be tuning into these Sunday calls, which I'm doing every single Sunday, unless it's a holiday. Every single Sunday, I'm going to come on here and just give you guys this hour, 30 minutes to an hour type of session. Just giving you guys a little bit of an update of how I'm going to be approaching the markets this week. Now, if you guys have any questions about anything, family, this is one thing that I truly love doing is providing value. So any questions that you guys do have, any questions that you guys can think of, by all means, throw them in the chat. Make sure that you guys ask those questions because I love providing clarity. Now, for those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Abel Melendez, guys, and I've been trading for the past 6.5 years, and it's been an absolute journey. You know, it's been, when I say a journey, an absolute journey, guys, right? I went from me getting started in this industry around 2014, 2015, around 2015 mainly, right? And I just took it all in. I went nonstop with really just educating myself, really taking things to a whole nother level. My first 2 years of me trading, guys, was extremely rough. I didn't make no money whatsoever. I went from blown account to blown account to blown account, blah, blah, blah. If you guys been following me for a while, you guys pretty much know my story, right? I went from blown account to blown account to blown account to blown account. And then I was able finally to get mentorship. And that's what really took things up a whole nother level to a point where 2018 was a phenomenal freaking year for me. Like, it went absolutely crazy. And then that's when I really was able to go ahead and retire myself from the job that I was at. I come from a warehousing background. I'm used to picking things up and putting it down. I'm used to picking things up and putting it down, right? Because that's all I did at the warehouse. So when I was able to, you know, have that phenomenal year in 2018, that's what really gave me the security enough to actually go ahead and do this thing full time. And that's exactly what I've been doing, guys, now for the past 4 years, almost 5 years, is I've been literally doing this full time, being able to go ahead and just experience not just financial gains, guys, but experience so much more because of this skill set. Okay, and it's absolutely something that I want you guys, if you're not at that point just yet, I want y'all to experience that. There's nothing better, guys, than being able to learn how to push buttons and make some money. Like, if you guys want to learn how to push a couple buttons and be able to make some money with that, guys, let me know by dropping some threes in the chat. Now, I want to see some 3-3-3s in the chat, family, right? I need to see exactly who wants to learn this skill set so that you can be able to make money by simply pushing buttons, because that's all we really do, right? Once you actually learn the skill, once you're able to control your and manage your emotions, once you're able to be disciplined by following your rules, and once you're able to really just, again, just take things up another level, guys, I promise you, all you're really going to be doing is following your system and then pushing some buttons to literally go ahead and make money. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, you are learning an entirely new language. Okay, if everybody else is going to tell you that this is going to be a cakewalk, I'm going to be the opposite. I'm going to be 100% realistic with you guys because I want you to really come in with the correct expectations. All right, can you make a lot of money trading? Of course you can. All right, are you going to be able to do it in a month, 2 months, 3 months? No, you're not, guys, right? Again, really put things in perspective. If you look to learn how to speak a different language, okay, which trading, that's a language. Investing, it's a language, right? You have to learn the language in order for you to become profitable. But put things in perspective. If you expect to learn how to speak a different language that is not your actual normal language, do you realistically think you're gonna learn that language in a month? Do you think you're gonna be? If I ask you guys to learn how to speak Mandarin, right, or Spanish or Italian or French, if that's not your native language and you don't have people in your household that have been teaching you that since day one, you're not gonna be able to become fluent in any of those languages, guys, in just a month, 2 months, 3 months, right? In fact, you might not even be fluent in 6 months. You might not even be fluent in 12 months. Same thing here with trading. Okay, this is a process, guys, that you have to learn and develop over time. Okay, so one thing that I really want you guys to understand is that you really have to think long term with this. Okay, because if you aspire to trade for a living, then do not get upset if you do not get it within your first month, within your first year, within your first 2 years. Remember what I just said, guys, right? I went 2 years with no results. If I would have gave up back then I would still be picking up boxes every single day right now. I would still be in that warehouse either picking up boxes, wrapping pallets, or driving that forklift, which is something that I really did not want to do. Because I know I'm not the only one, guys, right now that goes to work and just immediately gets into a miserable mood. That's what I was experiencing, right? I would literally go into work and I was experiencing miserableness. Like I did not want to be there. But I had to because I have a family. I'm a father of 3. I'm a husband, right? So I have a family. I have to provide for mine. But because I took this thing serious and I just did not decide to give up, I was able to make it work. Family, you know what's crazy? And I'm here, I'm being transparent with y'all, all right? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I see we got West Virginia in the building. Shout out to all my Noti gang. I see y'all in the chat. I see we got Chino, part of the Noti gang. I see you, Sam. I see you as well. Okay, I see we got Houston, Texas in the building, West Virginia, Chicago, South Africa. We got Nigeria in the house as well. South Carolina, what is popping? I see you out there in South Carolina, St. Vincent, the Grenadines. I appreciate every single one of you guys out there in the Caribbeans. Let's see what else we got. Can we watch this after this live? Of course, this is going to be up forever, okay? Up forever. In fact, I actually appreciate that it's going to be up forever, because throughout the course of this week, you guys can always come back to this session, guys, and just really, line up how I analyze the markets, and whether it went in my direction or not, y'all can always go ahead and just see exactly what went right or what went wrong, right? So, yeah, I appreciate that. But one thing that I want you guys to understand, family, is that the reason why most people do not see success in this is because usually they just give up way too soon, okay? Usually they just give up way too soon. Okay, and I say that because you got to think about it, guys, right? When most people start with anything, any type of business opportunity, any type of opportunity, period, most people usually set a time limit for themselves on when it needs to work. And that's the worst thing, in my opinion. That's the worst thing that anybody can do. Family, you never want to put a time limit on especially something like trading, because trading itself is going to be different based on the person. You might come in, and yeah, some of y'all that's listening to my voice might come in and in 6 months, it makes sense. But others might take 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years for it to actually make sense and for you guys to actually become at that or be at that level that you aspire to be at. But never put a time limit on your success, especially with trading, right? Because when you create a time limit or you give yourself a certain period of time as to when it has to work, you already planted that seed of doubt in your mind. And all it takes is just one seed of doubt, guys, for you guys to really go ahead and give up so quickly and then move on to the next opportunity. Okay, so don't put no time limit on this. Guys, it has to work or it has to work. Write that in the chat. Write that in the chat, family, right? It has to work or it has to work, because that's the type of mentality that you need to have if you truly want to do this full time. If you aspire to be a full-time trader, then guys, it has to work or it has to work. There's no plan B. And if there is, plan B has to be the fact that you're going to make sure that plan A continues to go through. That's the mindset you got to have when you're doing this. Okay? But there are a few things that you have to focus on ahead of time. Okay, the first thing that you have to focus on, guys, is really focus on perfecting the strategy, creating a rule-based strategy that you guys can follow on a daily basis that is going to at least make things easier for you. Okay, I want y'all to understand this, guys, right? Every single professional trader that you guys might follow, that you guys might watch here on YouTube, every single professional trader, they have their own specific way of trading. And the reason why they created that rule-based strategy or the way that they trade is so that they can literally follow the same exact steps every single day. Okay? It's all about finding one way of trading, one strategy, one system, and then sticking with that no matter what. And then you're able to really work on the hard parts of trading. Okay? Because the biggest reason why most people do not succeed in trading is, I want to ask you guys that. Why is it that most people do not succeed in trading, family? Let me know in the chats. Right? Let me know in the chats. Right? I see we got Montreal, Canada in the building. What's going on? Get the bag. I see you. Shout out to you guys saying it has to work or it has to work, because that's really the mindset. But family, why do you guys believe most traders do not succeed in this? I want to ask you guys that. Let me know in the chats, right? Why do you guys believe most traders are just not able to get this thing down pat? I know a few reasons why. There's a few reasons why. But I want to ask you guys, okay, why do you believe most people do not succeed in this? Go ahead and answer this in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Okay? Because the reason why I believe most people do not succeed is because, for one, they have no discipline. Okay, that's the major one. They lack discipline. They lack discipline. Okay? They lack consistency. They're trading without a plan. Okay? They're not able to control their emotions. Okay? I hate when I hear traders say you have to remove your emotions. I used to say that too when I first started, right? I have to remove it. Guys, we're human. We can't remove our emotions, but we can control them. We can manage them. Okay? Let me see what you guys think. Let me see. Right, let's see. Greed. Yup, that's a fact. Greed is a big one. FOMO. Emotions. Consistency. Emotion. Jumping from one strategy to another. 100% you're so true. Not having a mentor. That's a big one. Do not overlook that one, guys. Not having a mentor. Remember what I told you guys. I went 2 years with no results, and that's because I was trying to do it by myself. I was trying to utilize YouTube and books and all these baby pips, and all that stuff is good, right? But getting that one-on-one mentorship, getting that hands-on mentorship, guys, is what really is going to take you to a whole other level. Because you're not going to be able to really learn as much from the psychological aspect of trading through books. Yeah, you could read books like Trading in the Zone. You could read other books like that. But it's completely different, guys, when you're trading in real time. Having somebody that you can go to in real time and just work with, that's going to take you up a whole nother level. Let's see what else we got here, right? Impatience. Yep, that's true. You got to have patience. Let's see. Emotions. Yep, that's very true. Procrastination. Yep. Keeping it simple. Yeah, a lot of people like to overcomplicate it. No plan in psychology. Yep, exactly. Right? So if we all know, guys, and this is where I'm getting at, if we all understand the main things that really causes most people to not succeed, you know exactly what's also probably stopping you then. Right? There's a big thing, guys, that most successful people have. And they have a high level of awareness. Okay? Most successful people, guys, have a high level of awareness. They understand, or they're aware of what they're doing wrong, but they also have the discipline to go ahead and change that. Let me say that one more time, because that's important, guys, for people to understand. Right? Most successful people have a high level of awareness and also have a high level of discipline to know exactly what they have to do to go ahead and change the game for them. Most traders do not have a high level of awareness. And if they do, they lack the discipline to change exactly what's causing them to not succeed. So you guys are aware of the things that's causing people to not win in this, but are you going to be disciplined to change it? I know for a fact, and I'm saying this because I struggle with this, I know for a fact that there's a lot of us right now that's listening that is struggling with over leveraging. Okay, we understand that we have the awareness to know that over leveraging is not good, but we don't have the discipline to actually stop it. Again, that's the difference, guys, between the successful and the non-successful traders. Having the awareness, but also having the discipline to go ahead and change things, family. So I'm excited to be here with every single one of you guys. Like I said, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Abel Melendez, guys. I've been training for 6.5 years, right? Most recently, I was one of the top educators for I Am Mastery Academy. I actually decided to take a step back from that platform just so that I could really go ahead and focus more on creating a community that I was actually excited about. Okay, so if you guys were ever a part of IML or I Am Academy, I'm pretty sure you might have seen me actually teaching the basics. You know, that's literally what I did for the past 3-4 years, was go on that platform and just provide massive value for every single student that was willing to jump on my sessions. I've taught thousands and thousands of students literally worldwide. I've done so many events, guys, like live events in various different countries, right? So I feel like I'm qualified to actually go ahead and provide you guys with value. And I know for a fact that if you're just now tuning in and you're just now getting started with this journey, that I'm going to go ahead and really make things simple for you. Because that's what I aspire to do, right? I'm all about simplicity, right? I used to be called Mr. Simplicity because I'm able to break down even the most complex things in a very simple form so that even a freaking baby could go ahead and do this, right? In fact, I've taught, guys, even students from 10 years old and really showed it. And again, this is not in a direct face-to-face type thing, guys, but I have thousands of testimonials from parents saying that their kids are actually able to understand this stuff. So trust me, I know what I'm talking about when I'm doing this here, and I'm excited to go ahead and really just take off on YouTube and really just provide you guys with as much free value as possible, guys. So if y'all is excited about that, man, I need to see some sevens in the chat, guys, because this is a big deal. Like, this is a big deal, right? Me going from a platform that was literally only in-house to now me actually being able to potentially reach, again, hundreds of thousands of students eventually. This is a big deal, all right? And the best part is, it's free. You don't have to pay a thing for this, guys. The only thing that I would highly, highly recommend from you guys, just to show love for me as a thank you, just go ahead and smash the like button. That's all I really want, right? That's all I really want. Can y'all do that for me? Can y'all do that for me, Penny? Right? Can y'all all make that decision right now? Just smash the like button. That's all. I'm not gonna ask you guys for no type of money whatsoever. But all I do ask is just go ahead and smash the like button. Be active in the chats because it helps this video actually go out to way more people. Again, my goal is to be streaming and having tens of thousands of people live, all with us together. Okay, now guys, as well, if you guys are not a part of my Telegram, I do have a public Telegram. I actually call it my outer circle, right? Where I pretty much utilize that Telegram as like a journal. If you guys are in my Telegram right now, let me know in the chats, right? If you're in my Telegram right now, and if you actually enjoy the value that I've been dropping in that Telegram, which you guys know is some next level stuff, right? I really haven't even been talking too much about chart work here. No, it's all about mindset, right? I'm sending a lot of nuggets in that chat, in that Telegram, because like I said, I use it as like my notebook, my notepad. It's like my journal, where anytime I have like a bar or some type of information that has helped me out, I'm sending it right into that Telegram. So I'm sending in their podcasts of videos that I feel like is something that can help you out. I'm giving out so much mindset nuggets in there. It's crazy. Okay, so I absolutely appreciate y'all. I've even been dropping a lot of NFT projects in there, right? Especially a lot of the ones that I'm recently getting into, just so that you guys are also aware of what I'm doing. Like I said, it's my notepad. All right, I have like 2,000 people in that chat, right? 2,000 people, but I don't even look at it as if I have anybody in there, because whatever comes to my mind, if it's valuable, I usually go to my notepad. But now I'm actually sending it in that Telegram family, which is something that I highly encourage every single one of y'all to be a part of. So make sure, if you guys are not in the Telegram just yet, go down below, guys, and make sure to be a part of the Telegram so that you guys can get all the nuggets and all the gems that I provide you guys. Literally every single day I'm in there just going crazy. It's like I think of something and I'm like, oh, I gotta put this in the Telegram, right? And I do it without caring about anybody's response. Okay, I do this literally for me so that I can pretty much be able to go back and really just get those nuggets. But I'm like, yo, let me give it to my family anyway. So if you want to be a part of that outer circle, Telegram link is going to be below. It's actually going to be on every single video that we do document, guys. I am going to be consistently dropping bangers for you guys. As of right now, I've been dropping around 1 to 2 a week. But I actually want to ramp it up. Like, I want to be able to get to a point, guys, where I'm creating 3 to 5 videos a week. Like, straight value. Okay, whether it's me actually teaching you guys how to trade, teaching you guys how to do technical analysis, teaching you guys how to understand fundamental analysis, teaching you guys how to utilize sentimental analysis, or if it's just more so me in there just really going crazy, just being really transparent with you guys. Because that's what I'm all about, is transparency. I want to be able to grow a community based off my transparency and just also everything else that comes with it. So I'm excited about that, guys. So let me see what we got here. All right, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to every single one of y'all that's in the building. I appreciate y'all, right? So now let's go ahead and get this thing started, guys, and really get to what you guys are here for. And that's pretty much just going over my routine on what I do every single beginning of the week, guys. I do a very similar routine. And one thing about trading is you guys are going to realize that it's actually very repetitive. Like, it's going to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, guys. And that's very key. Repetition is so important, especially when you're just now starting out. You have to be able to create a routine for yourselves that you know exactly what to do or when you're going to be doing it every single week. Because again, trading itself, guys, the hard part of trading is being able to control your emotions and having discipline. Like, that's the hard part. It's not about how to do technicals. It's not about how to do chart work. It's not about how to create trend lines. All that is the easy part. Like, I guarantee you guys, right? I could teach y'all how to create trend lines in 5 minutes. I could teach you guys how to find key levels in 5 minutes. But the thing is, I can't teach you how to really manage your emotions. That's something that you have to be able to do, and that's something that you have to be able to control, and repetition usually allows you to make it a little bit easier of a transition. I can give you guys tips and tricks on how I was able to manage my emotions, but that's just the one thing that I can't help you with. Okay, you have to put in the time. You have to have experience. Okay, experience is what allows you to be able to control your emotions and have the discipline that you need. Okay, and that just involves you coming onto these trainings and these sessions every single week and just making that commitment, family. So let's go ahead and get into this. So we do have our calendar for the week. Okay, and I'm going to go through this very, very quickly, guys. So for tomorrow, we do have an Italian bank holiday for the euro. So if you are going to be trading any euro pairs, guys, be mindful that there is a bank holiday, so there might not be as much liquidity in the markets. Guys, keep in mind the banks will provide majority of the liquidity in these markets, right? The biggest banks in the world, like the central banks, they provide majority of the liquidity. So if there's a bank holiday for a specific currency, then you might not want to trade that, okay? Because it might just be very, very choppy throughout that day because there's not as much liquidity. Now at 11 a.m. Eastern, this is all Eastern Standard Time. At 11 a.m., guys, for the Canadian dollar, we do have, the Bank of Canada Governor McClellan going to be testifying or going to be speaking. Again, anytime a high political figure is going to be speaking, you always just want to be safe and be on the sidelines. Or at least if you're already in certain trades, just protect yourself. Whether it be moving your stop loss to break even, whatever you got to do, guys, just do it. You never want to be, you always just got to be mindful of this because they bring a lot of volatility to the markets whenever they speak. So we do have that for the Canadian dollar. Going into Tuesday, guys, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we have some major news for the Australian dollar. We have CPI data getting released quarter over quarter, right, which again measures inflation. Guys, this is a big deal, right? I'm pretty sure we can all agree here, right? Inflation has been the one thing that has been just going crazy for the past year and a half. But we should have expected inflation because of how much money all these countries are printing because of obviously COVID, right? We've been dealing with COVID for the past 3 years now, right? And because of COVID, it caused a lot of these central banks to have to print so much money to try to stimulate the economies that now we're getting the back end because of that, right? We're dealing with inflation mainly because of all that printing that was occurring and all that fluffing up of these economies that the central banks were actually doing. So this is going to be a big deal. Now, I'm actually going to be creating a video on how to really read this stuff, how to actually read all this news and how to utilize it in your favor when you're actually trading. Because this is another nugget, and it might just be me that thinks this way. In fact, I know a lot of my professional trader friends, they usually think this way as well, guys, right? Fundamental analysis is far more important than technical analysis. Right? Now, I know some of y'all's looking at me like, Abel, you bugging, Abel, you tripping. Like, no, guys, you have to understand, right? We're talking about dealing with currencies, okay? These currencies are influenced by outside factors, right? And we're not talking about trend lines, right? These currencies are influenced by fundamental analysis. What is happening in the economy? That's what's moving these markets, okay? So if you really want to take your trading to a whole nother level, then you have to start understanding, guys, some type of fundamental analysis, or at least have a basic understanding of how to read some of these charts. Okay, I've been bullish the US dollar, not just because of technicals, and I've been calling the dollar bulls. I've been calling a bullish dollar, guys, for the past 1.5 to 2 years. And it's all because of fundamental analysis, and this thing just been going up, right? So fundamentals creates a long-term, it gives you a long-term directional outlook or long-term directional bias, But technicals itself, guys, just really helps you identify when you could really go ahead and get into the market. So how I like to trade is I like to have a fundamental bias first, and then I like to align my technicals with what my fundamental bias is pretty much saying, okay? So just want to throw that out there. But we do have major news, guys, on Tuesday for the Australian dollar. On Wednesday, we have the Bank of Japan Outlook report. Anytime you see anything that says tentative, that just means that it is not set in stone, as to when this release is actually going to happen or when this report is going to get released. So just be mindful of that, guys. On Wednesday, that the yen could have some volatility. Now, on Thursday, we have some advanced GDP new numbers getting released for the US dollar. Guys, GDP is a major deal, right? GDP is a big deal because, again, matter of fact, I'm trying to help you guys out, right? So if you guys ever were interested in like really identifying what these news releases are, and like I said, I'm going to create a separate video going in depth on this stuff. All you got to do is go to either the vanilla envelope that we have here when you're looking at it, say from Forex Factory. Other websites might be different. And then it literally tells you what these news events measure. And it also a section, guys, that tells you why traders care. Okay, so GDP measures the annualized change in the inflation-adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. Why do traders care? It's the broadest measure of economic activity and the primary gauge of an economy's health. So, guys, if GDP numbers go lower or go higher, that's going to influence the US dollar, right? Because that's telling investors, right? It's giving investors an idea as to how the economy is doing from a health perspective. Okay, you have to understand, guys, right? When we're trading, investors are making deals. Investors have to make decisions on whether they want to hold or whether they want to sell a certain currency, which causes the fluctuations. So this is a big deal that we also have to be aware of on Thursday. Okay, and then we also have a bank holiday as well for the Japanese yen. And then on Friday, guys, to pretty much close out the week, we have some core PCE price index data that's getting released for the US dollar. So that is our actual schedule for this week. Overall, it doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of a crazy week. I'm going to be focused a lot on the Australian dollar CPI data that's getting released, and then the GDP numbers that are actually getting released as well for the US dollar. Okay, so that's pretty much where we're at. Again, do everything that I'm doing now. I highly encourage you guys to do the same thing, right? If you guys see me every single week, I come to the calendar just so that I'm aware of these things, then do the same thing, okay? Duplicate the things that other people that are actually successful in this space are doing so that you yourself can start to actually get in that type of rhythm, okay? Success is not hard to achieve, guys, right? It's all about just duplicating what the successful people are actually doing. So if you see me watching a calendar every single Sunday, then that's just a clue for you to do it as well, all right? So that's our news for this week, guys. Let's go ahead and get into technicals and really figure out exactly what this market is actually going to be doing going into this week. Now, let me go ahead and just check the chat. And again, if you guys have any questions about anything, family, definitely let me know in the chats as well. Like I said, I love answering questions. Let's see. Emotion is what caused me to blow previous accounts along with revenge trading. You're not the only one, Chino. You are not the only one. I promise you're not the only one. Okay? We all have to go through that, and we all have to go ahead and get past it as well. So let's go ahead and see what we got here, guys. So I'm over here going to be taking a look at the dollar index first things first. And the reason for it is because I just like analyzing the US dollar, right? It is the #1 currency in the world, guys. This is the currency reserve of the world. In fact, a huge portion of the money that is traded in the Forex markets is the US dollar because large transactions that occur have to occur in USD. So if we know that the DXY, guys, or the dollar itself is the major currency, then doesn't it make sense to actually give a little basic, not even just a basic, but it kind of makes sense, guys, to really do a nice analysis on this specific currency so that we are aware of what the US dollar can possibly do, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at this, guys. Now, when I actually do some type of analysis, all right, I'm always going to the higher time frame, always going to the bigger picture. So I'm usually going to either the daily time frame or I'm usually starting off on the 4-hour time frame. And the reason for that is because I'm really trying to figure out what the actual flow of this market is, guys. So the first thing you want to do is try to identify the flow or the direction or the trend of the market. Okay, so looking at the DXY, we can see, guys, that this trend, I mean, this is bullish. Like, there's no arguing that. There's nobody out there going to tell me that the DXY is not bullish. We can see that this thing has clearly right? Clearly been flowing higher. We can see that, okay? So if we know that the trend is bullish, if we know that the dollar itself has been going to the upside, guys, literally for almost an entire year now, then long term, again, this is a key word, long term, we should eventually expect to find some opportunities to continue in that direction, okay? Because you're going to have a higher probability of actually predicting the trade correctly if you're trying to go with the trend as opposed to go against it. Guys, go with the trend, or go with the trend, because it makes it easier, right? It makes it easier for you guys to do that. So we are bullish here for the dollar itself. In fact, right, next thing I always like to do, guys, after I identify a trend, is I like to identify, guys, what I like to call a trading range. Okay, a trading range is pretty much just identifying the swing low and the swing high of the last impulsive move that we've seen. So if we're looking for our trading range here on the daily time frame, and just a rule of thumb, trading ranges are going to differ depending on what time frame we're looking at the markets from. Okay, so if we have our swing low here, our swing high technically is up here. I mean, the market could just continue. It probably would. Okay, that is just giving us a clue, guys, of where we're pretty much going to be trading in between if price was to correct. Okay, if price was to say drop from these levels, which I'm not sure what it's going to do. Okay, there's certain things, guys, that we can't control, right? We can't control where this market eventually ends up doing. Like, that's out of our control, okay? So we can't control it. But if price was to start to correct for whatever reason, okay, as long as we do not break this ultimate low down here, we're still looking for long-term buy opportunities. Okay, so what do we mean by that? Well, let me go ahead and give you guys a quick example, right? Let me break this down real quick. Okay, so what that means, guys, is that price itself, it can all day correct like this and give us some more structure to the downside. All day long it could do this. It could just play in between this. As long as it does not break that swing low, this low down here, as long as it doesn't break it, man, then we need to expect more continuations to the upside. Like, we're eventually going to find an opportunity to go ahead and continue in the trend. Now, if price was to go ahead and say break this level like this, see, then now we have to expect an overall reversal. Okay, that at that point is when we say, okay, you know what? This market is extremely bearish. Let's go ahead and stop looking for long-term buys, and let's go ahead and start expecting possible long-term shorting opportunities now for the DXY, guys. So overall, you know, it's important to understand where we're at in terms of, you know, our structure levels, right? It's very important, guys, so that when you do go to lower time frames, you're not too confused. So I like this. I like the bullishness that we've seen here. So I'm probably going to be looking for some opportunities, guys, to go ahead and look for some buys on the dollar itself. Now, like I said, right, every single time frame that you go on, it's going to have various levels of trading ranges, all right? And identifying those levels of structure or those levels of ranges is also very crucial, okay? So looking at this on the 4 hour, we can see that we have this level right here. That was the higher low that was created, and this is the low of this range that we're currently trading in between. Okay, so what I would love to see, okay, I'm not sure what the market is going to do, but what I would love to see, guys, is I would love to see the dollar index possibly go ahead and correct. Okay, it doesn't have to, but I would love to see this thing possibly go ahead and correct, and then give us an opportunity to go ahead and find some follow through to the upside. Okay, the area that I'm really interested in is if we can really come down to around this 100.5 level. Okay, which again, keep in mind that 100 level is a round psychological level, right? So we probably will see some reactions from it. But if we're able to see price correct all the way back down to this level here, man, I'm buying the hell out of that. Like, I'm buying the dollar all day long. Now, I know some of you guys are probably thinking, Abel, do we actually place trades on the DXY? Not necessarily. I mean, you can, but I don't actually place trades on this. But what I do is I actually get the correlations that I get from it, and I use that to actually go ahead and trade other opportunities, guys, right? So just an example, if I'm saying that I'm expecting the dollar itself to be extremely strong, right? Or if I'm expecting bullishness in the US dollar, okay? Then when I'm trading other currency pairs, like say Euro USD, GBP USD, NZD USD, AUD/USD, right? If I'm trading pairs that end in USD, then I have an idea of what those currency pairs can possibly do. Okay, so if we have a bullish dollar, and I'm going to ask you guys this question, family, right? Because again, I love being interactive in the chats, okay? So I'm asking you guys this question. If we expect the dollar to be strong, but yet we're trading a currency pair that ends in USD, what should we expect that currency pair to actually do? Let me know in the chats. Right? Let me know in the chats. Okay? If we're expecting the dollar to be strong and we're trading currency pairs that end in USD, it's the second pair in the currency pair, what should we expect those to go? What should we expect those pairs to do? Let's see. Right? Shout out to Margaret. I see you. Right? Sell. Bearish moves. Bearish. Down. Yup. Shout out. I appreciate every single one of you guys that are actually interactive. That I love that so much. Right? But yeah. Guys, so if we're trading, say, a pair like Euro USD, then we can possibly expect the dollar to be stronger than the euro, which would cause that currency to actually, or that currency pair to actually drop. Right? We should expect it to go down. And that's just based off correlations against the dollar itself. Now, again, the dollar is the big boy. The dollar is the strongest. Okay, so if we're expecting the dollar to continue gaining strength, then all the currencies that are actually trading against it are going to become weaker by default. Okay, so yeah, this is actually what I would love to see the dollar do going into this week. I would love to see a pullback. Okay, it's going to be very... I mean, I'm not saying that you can't start to look for buys from here, because again, the market could just, the market could just continue flying from these levels. We are retesting, right, a previous higher high level. But for me, the way that I like to trade, I'm not interested in opportunities unless we get a deeper pullback, especially after this type of momentum. We had a pretty strong push up here. So if we can get some type of a correction, which again, after every impulse comes a correction, if we can get some type of a correction, family, then that's when I really want to go ahead and get involved. I want to jump in after that correction has occurred so that we can go ahead and ride out the big move. Okay, I'm more of a day trader / swing trader, right? I'm not going to say that I don't scalp, okay, which scalping is just getting in and out very, very quickly. If the opportunity presents itself, so I'm just going to take the scalp. But I'm mainly a day trader, or maybe even sometimes a swing trader. Okay, so that's why I look at it from that perspective where I want to see a deeper correction. Okay, so if we can see price come down to the 100 level, then that's when I would really like to go ahead and start buying the actual dollar itself. Okay, so that's pretty much where we're at with that, guys. Now I want to go to lower time frame as well, because there are opportunities if you are experienced. And I'm really just talking to all my experienced traders right now. Okay. If you are experienced, there are opportunities for you to even counter trend some opportunities. Okay, because I know that's probably a question. Well, Abel, if you expect price to drop, would you just sell the dollar until it gets to that level? You can if you're experienced, right? But I need to see some type of structure to be broken before I do anything like that. Okay, so let's take a look at this on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame, guys, all we're noticing is the market doing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? So we're clearly in bullish structure. We're just creating this sequence of higher highs and higher lows. And that's exactly where we're at right now, right? We just created a higher high. Now we're pulling back, and it looks like we're actually forming another higher low. But this is what I like to do, guys, right? If I'm expecting price to actually go ahead and drop, right? Again, I would love to see price come down to this 100.5 level. That's where I'm interested in really going for long-term buys at. So in order for me to do that, I need some type of evidence first. Okay, I need some type of evidence if I'm going to be selling the dollar. Because as of right now, we don't have no evidence that the market actually wants to continue dropping. Right? Maybe if you look all the way to the left, you might be able to find some evidence by, looking at key levels and structure. But I'm going based off what we're looking at right here. So what I would like to see, guys, right? If we're able to really see price break below this level of structure, okay, this key level right here. I'm really going to highlight this level right here. Okay, because this level, guys, is a previous level of resistance. Price has broke through it, and now it's acting as support. But if we're able to break back below this level of previous resistance turn support, now that previous support can turn back into resistance. And then maybe we can find an opportunity to go ahead and short this thing and get us into that level that we really want to see. Is this making sense, guys? Right? Drop some threes in the chat if this is making sense. Right? Again, I'm not trading the dollar, but I'm just trying to figure out my blueprint here, right, for when I actually do get to trade in the dollar. Right? Does this make some sense? Let me know in the chats, right? Drop some threes if it makes some sense. Right? Again, I don't want to just guess right here that it's going to continue. No, I want to see evidence. I want to see this level of previous resistance that turned to support. I want to see that support broken again, and then we could possibly look at it as resistance, and then we would it will make more sense, guys, to actually go ahead and get involved. All right, that's making sense, right? Yeah, shout out to all you guys. I appreciate y'all for participating. Okay? And that's the thing about trading. Trading, you really have to be able to sit on your hands and allow the market to tell you exactly what you want to see. Okay, one thing about trading, guys, you have to get into the habit of reading the markets and then reacting to what the market is telling you. Read and react. Okay, I'm reading the markets, but I'm not going to react until we actually go ahead and see this break below and then the pullback, and then I'll go ahead and make a reaction off of there. All right, but let's go ahead and get off the dollar now. Let's go ahead and take a look at, other opportunities. All right, and we're going to take a look at gold, because I know a lot of people love gold. And I love gold too. It's extremely, extremely volatile. You can make a crap ton of money trading gold, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Euro USD. Okay, and I'm a big fan of Euro USD because, again, I love the dollar index, right? I love figuring out what the dollar is going to do. And Euro USD, guys, does the exact opposite. Like the exact opposite of the DXY, right? And the reason for that is because the DXY, what makes that index is that the dollar is being measured against a bucket of currencies. The majority of that bucket is made up of the euro, which is why they have such a strong correlation with each other, right? So let me go ahead and just erase what we have on the actual screen, because that's one of the opportunities I'm going to be looking at going into this week. But let's go straight to the daily time frame. Okay, let's go straight to the daily and see what we got here, guys. So what is the bias here? Right, where's the entry? I got you. All right, we're going to break that down. Okay, what is our bias here, guys? Are we bullish or are we bearish? Right, we're bearish here. Right, the market is clearly in a downtrend here for Euro USD. Okay, now let's go ahead and identify some key levels that we have here. Okay, first key level, major key level. We're just going to go ahead and I'm not going to get too crazy with the key levels. All right, we're just going to highlight some levels that make a little bit of sense. So we have this level of structure right here. Previous support, price broke through it, and then it started acting as resistance. We also have this minor level of structure as well right here. Okay, also acted as support, price broke through it. There is a possibility for that to act as resistance. And then we also have, the key level at this support that we're pretty much trading into right now. Okay, so this is pretty much what we're looking at here, guys, in terms of key levels. Like I said, don't get crazy trying to identify all the key levels. If you need help with identifying key levels as well, one thing that you could do, guys, use this chart right here. Okay, this is what we call the line chart. This chart right here, guys, it helps you identify key levels because it doesn't mark off the wicks. Like, it only marks off the actual closes of those candles. So you're able to get some real accurate, very accurate key levels, especially when you're doing it from the higher time frame. Okay? So that's just a little nugget. Use the line chart if you really struggle with that. But yeah, now we have our key levels. Don't get too crazy with them. Just highlight it. Again, I know people are going to ask, Abel, how do you create your zones? Do you do it wick to wick? Do you do body? Guys, again, it really depends. And honestly, I don't focus too much on trying to make a perfect zone. I'm highlighting the zone just so that I know where my key levels are. Right? I'm not so focused on trying to make it perfect. I'm not so focused on saying, oh man, let me get wick to wick. No, I just need to be able to identify that key level because clearly the market keeps reacting from that zone. So don't get too caught on trying to make a perfect zone. Or don't worry about that. Just highlight the levels where market keeps reacting from. Okay, so now we're at where we're at now, guys, right? Now let's go ahead and go to lower time frame, go to 4 hour. Okay. And on the 4 hour time frame, guys, we're going to do the same thing, right? Really just figure out what we're doing. Now, I'm going to get a little bit more technical here because, again, this is something we're actually going to be trading. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just highlight, this pattern that I'm looking at right here, right? This pattern that's being identified. Okay, and these patterns, guys, are very crucial. When we're talking about market structure, we're not just talking about key levels, right? We're not just talking about, we're also talking about the patterns that structure is creating. Because when you're able to identify certain patterns, it helps you identify, guys, what the momentum is doing. Okay, so we're looking here at the euro, a 4-hour, and what's the last thing that we've seen? We've seen this pretty strong drop right here, okay, that happened, that broke structure. Okay, now once we actually got below this level right here of structure, the market itself, guys, started to get extremely choppy. Look at this, right? Very choppy, very choppy. Look at this. Okay, now this type of choppiness, guys, it literally creates a pattern that helps you identify what can possibly happen next. Okay, like when I read stuff like this and we have this little descending wedge looking pattern, this is telling me that momentum is slowing down. In fact, last time I did a training with you guys, I told y'all that I was possibly expecting the market to actually give us a pullback. Like, I remember saying that. Like, I'm like, okay, because the dollar was around, I forgot where it was, right? It was somewhere, it wasn't even, it was like, it was somewhere up here, right? But I remember us telling, like, you can go back and, again, watch the previous live session that I did and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, like I said, man, this is getting very choppy, very choppy, very choppy. And price is looking like we can actually see a pullback occur. Okay, in fact, there was actually an opportunity that we took advantage of, or at least I did, right? And I actually created a video on it, was actually catching this pullback because I'm reading price action near a key level. Okay, that's the nugget here, guys, right? Learn how to read price action near key levels, right? So I was looking at this and then we seen that occur. So what do I think can happen now, though? Right, well, there's two things that I'm actually going to be looking at, guys, going into this week for the Euro USD. Okay, because, yeah, there's a very possible chance that price, since we did break below this little minor 4-hour level right here, okay, this little internal level, there is a chance for price just to continue dropping from there. Okay, that's very possible, right? Again, the market going to do what it wants to do. Right? Is there opportunities for us to get involved? I mean, there could be. You go to lower time frame, you can look for some opportunities. But there's also a possibility, guys, for price to even go all the way back up to this level before we even go ahead and continue lower. Okay? And now, if we're being honest, I've been seeing a lot of talk about smart money concepts versus retail trading strat. Like, that's been all over YouTube, at least, right? I've been seeing people create videos on smart money, which one works best, retail, right? And we're all retail traders, first things first. Every single one of us, guys, whether you try to trade the smart money theory or not, right? You're still a retail trader, okay? But this is how we will look at this, okay? Normal retail trading ideologies, right? People that are trading without understanding liquidity, without understanding mitigation, without understanding order blocks, they would probably look for this continuation, okay? Looking for this opportunity to actually continue. In fact, if I'm actually being honest, most retail traders are probably going to actually try to buy off this support, right? Again, that's just me being honest, right? Most retail traders are probably going to try to buy off this support because they want to go ahead and they're seeing that support failing. And we're normally taught, you know, whenever we see rejections off of a support, look for buys on a break of structure, all right, to the upside. That's normally what we're taught. So most retail traders are probably going to either look for try to buy this for some reason, and there's other ones that are also going to be looking just for continuation sells, the ones that are a little bit smarter, okay? Where we have smart money guys, and this is why I love teaching about this stuff, because I'm able to look at it from different perspectives, right? I've taught retail, right, retail stuff, retail trading ideologies, and I've also been able to teach smart money because I'm able to really implement both. I'm not an idiot. I understand that the market is gonna, yeah, at times retail techniques work, trend lines work, support and resistance works, but then I also understand that, yeah, liquidity is a very important big deal here, right? Identifying order blocks is a big thing. Understanding the concept of mitigating risk is a real thing, right? So I'm able to understand it from both perspectives. So from retail perspective, most people might just be looking for very simple continuations. From a smart money perspective, you might actually be expecting market to pull all the way back up, right? Because we have things like imbalances that are being created. We have these equal highs that are right here that are also being formed, right? And whenever you identify an area of equal highs, then you also want to, you know, really put in consideration that there could be some liquidity being built up around that level. So let me go ahead and get my dollar sign real quick. And I want to show you guys what I'm talking about right here. Okay, come on. Okay, there could be some liquidity that is trapped right here that might want to go ahead and get collected before we see the continuations. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, guys, right? Retail techniques, retail traders, which we all are, but looking at it from a retail ideology, you probably gonna just look for the continuation right from this level here, and it might happen. But from a smart money perspective, you might actually be expecting a deeper pullback so that we can go ahead and capture liquidity, close the imbalance, and then go ahead and make the next move to the downside. What am I gonna do? I'm going to set myself up for both opportunities, all right? I'm going to set myself for both and just manage my risk correctly. So I'm going to go to a lower time frame now, okay? Lower time frame is really going to give me a little bit more insight as to what we're looking at. Okay, so now we're on the 1 hour time frame, guys. And yeah, there is a possibility for, like I said, price to really go ahead and continue from where we're at now. Okay, so looking for a possible trade maybe off of this level of support and resistance right here, it might not be a bad play. Because again, I'm not in control what the market's going to decide to do. And the market could very well go ahead and start to drop from these levels. I've seen it occur so many times, guys. Again, I've been trading for 6.5 years now. I've seen it all happen. Okay, and I'm not going to be one of these traders on social media and on YouTube that are saying, oh man, you got to trade this way. Oh man, it's got to go. I don't care. The market doesn't have to do a damn thing. Right? Make sure we understand that immediately, guys, right? The market doesn't have to do a damn thing, okay? It's going to do what it has to do no matter what. It doesn't care about what we think about the market. It doesn't care about retail techniques. It doesn't care about smart money. It don't care about none of that, okay? So there is a chance for price to just pull back and then continue going to the downside, right? Very simple, break, retest at structure, support, and resistance. But if that doesn't work out, okay, and if the market actually goes against that, then at that point, we might be experiencing a deeper pullback, and then I would be looking for more of an opportunity up here to sell this market once we go ahead and close this imbalance that we have open right up in here. Okay, this is some nuggets, guys. I hope y'all is taking notes on this. Okay, don't get caught up in the hype and any of these things where people are over here arguing about which strategy is the best. It doesn't matter about which one's the best. There ain't no best. It's all about what makes sense to you. And if once you get experience and you're able to understand both of these strategies, then you're really able to take things up a whole nother level as long as you know how to manage your risk correctly. So I have no problem, guys, taking a trade this week from Euro USD from right there. And I also don't have no problem, right, taking a trade from up here neither. Right, because I understand that the market could very well do both. But if I am going to take trades from either of these opportunities, I'm going to manage my risk correctly. I'm going to risk maybe 1 to 2% of my account balance. And if I lose on one, it's cool. I'm only losing 1 to 2%. Okay, and if the second one does win, I mean, this is a crazy risk to reward. Right, this is around a 5 to 1 risk to reward. So if we lose, say, 2% here, but yet on this example we're going for 10%. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be upset because now you're still in the profit 8% overall for this one looking opportunity that we're setting up. Okay, again, you have to be a money manager here, guys, right? You have to get in the habit of really managing your trades correctly and manage your risk. Okay, especially if you're just now getting started, you have to really understand this thing. So for Euro USD, this is what I'm looking at. Right now, I know some of you guys are probably thinking, well, hey, but what about this? Is it possible for price to just come here and then continue? That's another opportunity. Right, that's another one. Yeah, price is it could react from there too. But these are the only two that I'm personally interested in. Okay, because if price was to come from this trend line up here off the top of the wedge, I mean, yeah, you could possibly take a trade off there. You know, the risk to reward is going to be there, right? You're going to be risking very little. But then if price comes all the way back up to this level, at that point, I'm thinking we're just going to go ahead and run these highs. So that's why I really won't be chasing this one personally. Me personally, I won't be chasing it if it comes to here. Because if we come all the way back up, then we're probably just going to end up collecting liquidity and then going ahead and making the next move. Okay, I'm just making sure, guys, we have no questions. I see everybody's just probably just either paying attention, and I appreciate that. Again, if you have questions, definitely ask them. Right, so that's where I'm looking at, guys, for Euro USD. You know, one opportunity here. If we get it, we get it. If it goes, it goes. Another opportunity up here. I really am and again, it's just me, but I would really love to see the market just go a lot higher and grab liquidity and then we get that big shift, guys. So that's one opportunity I'm going to be looking at going into this week. All right, let's go take a look at USD JPY, USD CAD, and then GBP USD. I won't go into all those actually. I'll look at UJ, GJ, and then gold, just for the sake of time, because I do have dinner waiting for me, right? But let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here for USD JPY. Again, similar concept, guys, right? If you're going to the chart for the first time, do your bigger outlook, right? Do your main analysis. Let me go ahead and turn on this light real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, familia. Give me 1 second. It's getting a little dark in here. There we go. All right, so UJ, this thing has been extremely bullish. Like, this thing has been flying, guys, right? Like, absolutely just on fire, right? And that's just because, again, the dollar has just been extremely strong, and the yen has been one of the weakest currencies across the board, right? The Japanese yen has just been getting absolutely destroyed. But let's see where we're at now, guys. Again, we understand that we're in a bullish market. I'm going straight to the smaller time because I don't want to take too long on these next ones that we're going to talk about. Okay, very simple. Identify our key levels. We're on the 1 hour time frame, remember, right? We have key level up here at the highs. Okay, we have key level down here at the lows. Okay, and then we also have this little internal level of structure as well right here. Okay, so what am I looking for? Right, if I'm looking for an opportunity here for UJ, and I want to find an opportunity to get involved. Okay, now we're on the 1 hour, so this is literally a time frame, guys, where we can really start looking for some opportunities from. Now, again, I'm not gonna say I don't trade Mondays, but the setup really got to be there, all right, for me to trade a Monday. Okay, normally I love Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays because those are usually like the best opportunities by far. Okay, but let's see what we got here. Okay, so if I'm looking for an opportunity here for UJ, it's most likely going to be a buy. I want to look for a continuation to the upside, right? Because the flow has been clearly higher. I don't want to go against this type of momentum. It makes no sense for me, okay? Especially if I expect the dollar to gain strength possibly this week, okay? Then I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm aligning myself with that type of bias, okay? So I want to make sure I'm looking for a possible buy opportunity here for UJ, okay? Now we're on the 1 hour. Now you can see a little bit cleaner. Okay, I want to look for the buy op, okay, the buy opportunity. So where can we actually look for some buying opportunities at? Well, let's go ahead and let's read some structure, guys, right? I'm going a little bit lower time frame. Let's read some structure. Let's read some higher lows and higher highs and see what the market has been doing. Okay, so we had this massive push up. We had this little bit of a deep correction. But then ever since then, we had higher low, right? This one was around the same low, higher low, right? You see we're creating like steps. So there is a possibility, guys, literally for this week, like something that we could probably look at for tonight, okay, for us to look for another pullback and then possibly experience another higher low to go ahead and eventually break these highs. That's what I will be looking for, right? I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and possibly run those highs for this week, okay, because as of right now, we don't have no evidence. At least from a technical standpoint, we don't have no evidence to try to short this, okay, based off what we're seeing right now. So if we do see a pullback, there is a possibility for price to go higher because we've been creating these higher lows this entire time. And we also did have enough momentum just now to break back above this level. So this is this is something that we could possibly be looking at, guys, here for UJ. All right, if we see price pull back down, we can go ahead and possibly get an entry around this 128.5 level. Okay, around the 128.5 level. Stop loss is going to be down below this higher low. Because again, if this higher low gets taken out, then there's a possibility for price to come all the way back down to the lower end of the range. But for now, if we're able to really see price come back up to this structure here at around 128.5, then that can be an opportunity to go ahead and ride up to the upside. Okay, one thing that I'm very big on, guys, is risk to reward. I highly recommend you guys to make sure to really start understanding risk to reward, right? Don't focus on your win rate, right? So many people get so stuck up and caught on them not being 100% accurate when it's not even about that. You don't need to be 100% accurate, okay? You could be 50, 60, 70% accurate and still make a shit ton of money. Excuse my language. That's just the reality, okay? So don't focus so much on win rate. Focus on risk to reward. So if I'm looking at this setup, I'm finding my entry here. My stop loss is going to be below the swing low, or technically below the higher low, the last higher low. My target is back up to the highs. We have a risk reward of around 3-1. That's not bad, guys. If we're risking 1%, we're going for 3% gains. If we're risking 2%, we're going for 6% gains. Okay, that's possibly passing a funded account, right? Like one of these prop firm challenges, right? Whether it be FTMO, my my Forex funds, right? Whatever one, like that's almost passing off with just one trade. Like really think about that. Okay, so just putting it out there, right? Risk to reward is really what's going to change the game. But this is the opportunity here. If price comes back down, stops below the higher low, and target up to the highs, right? In fact, I'm going to keep this up as well because it's something I might create a video on going into this week if I actually end up taking the opportunity. I don't know if I will because I really don't trade on Sundays, like ever. But if it shows, I might just do it just because we're talking about it and this might be an opportunity and it could be a learning lesson for all of us, right? But this is one opportunity, guys, that you guys can really keep your eyes on literally going into this week to start off the week with a bang. All right, now let's go ahead and go straight to GJ. Like I said, I don't want to take too long. Right, let's go straight to GJ and see what we got here for GJ. See what type of opportunities we're actually seeing here. And go through the entire thing. Again, the same exact setup. Remember, it's all about repetition, right? Repeating the process over and over and over again. And then just going with the flow. So looking at GJ, guys, I mean, we can see right now we've had a lot of bullish momentum here for the pound yen. All right, like a lot of bullish momentum, right? This thing is just flying to the upside, okay? We had impulsive move. Correction, okay, impulsive move, and now we're in the middle of a correction. In fact, we actually are trading below the 50 period moving average as well. Okay, so big move, and now we're seeing a possible correction. Okay, so what do we do now, right? Again, we see that this market is pretty strong to the upside, right? I want to highlight some key levels like always, right? You want to highlight your key levels so we know what we're trading between. Right, so we have this key level right here. And now if price is able to get back into this key level here, guys, right, we can find an opportunity to go ahead and align ourselves with the buy setups. Right, again, I want to buy this market, right? On the higher time frame, we don't have no evidence yet that this market is going to continue going down. We don't have that evidence, right? So I want to align myself with what the higher time frame is saying. So I'm still bullish on pound yen. Okay, it's just now we're coming down to probably retest level of structure. So if we do come down into the zone, again, pay attention to price action here, guys. This is a big key. Remember, this highlighted zone right here is that key level that we highlighted. Look at how price is acting, right? Can you guys agree with me that this is looking choppy, right? Look at how choppy it's starting to become. This is when reading price action is very important. And your ability to read price action, guys, is only going to come with experience. Okay, but look at this. It's starting to get choppy right before we get into our key level. That's a big deal. Okay, so if price is able to come down into the zone and then we're able to see a break of structure to the upside on a pullback after that, that's our entry to go long. Like that's exactly what I would like to see. Okay, so this is something that, again, you can keep your eyes on, guys, going into this week. Again, tomorrow, if it's down at that zone tomorrow and I see what I'm looking for tomorrow, I'm going to take that. Right, I'm going to be looking for that opportunity to buy because I want to go with the trend, with the direction. I'm just reading structure now, and then I'm aligning myself with what structure is saying. But yeah, this is very choppy right here. Very choppy, very choppy. So once we get into that kill zone, right, if we see a break of structure, a break of, say, you could use a trend line for this example here, right? If you see a break of the trend line, then that could be the evidence that you need telling you that momentum is starting to shift to go higher. So look at the trend line. Create the trend line. A break of the trend line. I like to use moving averages. Personally, I don't use trend lines too much. But if we get a break of the moving average, then that could be the move higher. Okay? This is, guys, this is really giving you guys some real sauce that can change everything. Okay? So we see it getting choppy right before our key level. Wait for price to break the moving average or break the trend line. And once we get that, wait for the pullback and then go ahead and get involved. That's some sauce right there, right? Like that is really how simple trading can be. It's not about, again, overcomplicating it. Don't do that. That's going to overdo too much, guys. So yeah, we might be setting up for an opportunity to buy GJ, sometime soon. And if it just doesn't do that and actually for some reason just goes lower and lower and lower, then it is what it is, right? I'm not going to chase it. Okay, in fact, if, again, this is an if, right? If price was actually to continue going lower, okay? If price was to continue going lower and actually break below this zone that we have highlighted here, okay? And if it stays below that zone, then we might even be able to just reverse it and say, you know what? We're not respecting this level that we should have been. We might actually go ahead and continue dropping to the downside, and then we might actually go ahead and be able just to reverse it, okay? But for now, we're not at that point just yet, okay? We're still above the zone, so I want to go ahead and just be patient and let the market tell me when it's time to actually get in by seeing either a break of the trend line or a break of the moving average. Once we get that, look for the retest. Bada bing, bada boom, ride it up, okay? That's simple, guys. Now, the last one that I actually want to look at with you guys tonight is going to be gold. Right, and I like to leave gold for last just because gold is a little bit different. It's a different beast, right? Like gold is, you don't want to be playing around with gold, guys, right? Especially if you're new, you don't have no experience, right? You want to be careful with gold because it's an extremely volatile asset to be trading. Okay, so with gold though, there's a few things that we have to understand with gold. Gold is going to be heavily influenced, okay? Heavily influenced by fundamental data and fundamental analysis. All right, because gold is really gonna move and make decisions based on the amount of chaos and uncertainty in the world. Okay, I've been telling you guys since last time we did this. Like I don't like selling gold too much. Okay, I'll take the opportunity if it shows, but I'm really not a fan of selling gold. Right, I really just like to buy it, especially right now with what we're dealing with. Right, there's a lot of chaos in the world, guys. Right, we're dealing with the whole situation with Russia and Ukraine. Right, we're dealing with inflation. Right, we're dealing with so many different factors that is causing a lot of chaos and uncertainty in the world. That's why gold, in my opinion, is just super attractive to look for buy opportunities, especially if you're newer. Okay, so I want to look for some buy opportunities here for gold. Okay, now let's see what we got here for gold, guys. Right, so what has happened for gold most recently? Okay, we seen gold actually give us a nice strong run up to the upside. We seen the market, give us a correction. And now ever since we seen that correction, we're pretty much just, stuck above this level of support. But it looks like market itself, it just really just trapped in between that support level and this structure level right here. Okay, we're like just trapped in here right now. But if we look at it more recent as well, we also just seen this strong push up. Price is now starting to correct. Again, look at the choppiness, read the momentum. Okay, so we might be able to really look for some opportunity, guys, to buy gold if we come back down to this support level down here. I would be interested in looking for some buy opportunities for gold. Okay, if we're able to get down to around the 1920 levels. Let me see. Let me give you guys. Right, if we're able to get into around the 1921 levels, right, we might be able to find some opportunities to really go ahead and look for some long-term buys for gold. So I'm gonna be a little bit more patient with gold for sure going into this week. I mean, we are seeing the momentum is clearly starting to slow down, right? We have price starting to go sideways, but similar concept, guys, right? Wait for price to get down to that level of support, go to lower time frame. And then the same thing, wait for evidence of price getting ready to go up. Okay, what can be evidence? Is either you create your little trend line if you like your trend line. All right, we have this trend line right here that you can try to utilize if you want to. Again, I don't use trend lines too much because I like to use just my moving average. Is a little bit more easier for me to read. So if we're able to see a nice break of this moving average here, okay, on the pullback, that can be an opportunity to go ahead and get involved. Okay, now again, I'm going to wait for price to get down to this support though. All right, if we get down to this support zone down here and then we see that, that's a more conservative way of actually getting in, guys. So, just take advantage of this week. Take advantage of the setups that how I broke it down. Again, I'm an educator at heart. Like I love trading, it really changed my life, but I love educating, right? I love breaking this stuff down because trading doesn't need to be complicated, right? And we have too many teachers online and social media that try to overcomplicate everything because they're trying to be master guru. I don't care about none of that, right? I care about making money, and I care about making everybody that's tuning in money as well by keeping things simple. Okay, so we have some opportunities to keep our eyes on for this week. We talked about gold, we talked about euro, we talked about GJ, we talked about UJ. Now it's just all about, just having patience to let the market do what we want to see, and then being disciplined to go ahead and just react and following our plan the entire way. Right? Do not over leverage. As long as you're following your plan, even a loss is still a win. Right? Think about that. That's a nugget right there, right? As long as you follow your plan, even a loss is still a win. Like, really, really think about that. As long as you follow your plan, even when you lose, you're still winning because you followed your plan and you didn't over leverage and you only lost a small portion of your account. Right? So, family, if you guys enjoyed this type of value, if you guys enjoyed this sauce that I just talked about tonight, right, then let me know in the chats by dropping a 777 in the chat, right? Because I just want to go ahead and just, I want to continue doing this for y'all, right? Continue providing value. Like I said, my goal is to really make around 3 videos a week on YouTube. Okay, 3 videos a week. Even if I have to do live sessions with you guys, live streams, which is something I actually want to do, maybe a Tuesday and a Thursday. I just wake up New York session and just trade live with y'all. We can do that. So I'm definitely gonna start working on exactly what the game plan is moving forward. But again, family, if you guys did not like this video, before you go ahead and hop off, just go ahead and smash the like button. Make sure if you guys are not subscribed just yet, if you guys enjoyed this type of value, if you guys enjoyed the simplicity, make sure to go ahead and smash the like button. I definitely want to go ahead and shout out all of my Noti Gang members in the chat. I appreciate y'all if you're a part of the Noti Gang. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you guys for being a part of the family. Thank you guys for being a part of the gang. And I look forward to continue providing you guys value going throughout this week, family. If y'all have any questions for me, my Instagram is right at the top of the stream. Right, you guys can follow me. Please make sure to follow the right one because there's a lot of fake ones out there. And make sure to reach out if you guys have any type of questions at all. Right, so family, I appreciate y'all. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in with your boy. It's your boy Abel, and I'll see you guys in the next video that I drop for y'all. But I'll definitely see you guys next week with another weekly outlook. All right, family, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Take care. Let's get it.